So, one of the things I dealt with after my breakup, especially with my live-in boyfriend, was loneliness. And this affects a lot of people, especially if you're getting divorced or you're breaking up with your live-in partner. There's a lot of adjustments that come with it. And so I learned to cope with it and see loneliness in a different way. So these are my 5 tips and tricks to dealing with loneliness after a breakup, especially a divorce or live-in partner breakup. So number 1, make your house adjust. So these are kind of logistical things. I was kind of afraid to be in my house alone after my live-in boyfriend and I broke up, and we were together every night for like a year and a half, I would say, at least. So it was really hard for me learning to sleep by myself and be in the house alone. I was reading into every little noise, especially at nighttime. I thought someone was breaking in. So these were little things I started to do, especially in the beginning. Number 1, I got a noisemaker at night, like the one your therapist uses. I actually use an old humidifier. I don't use it as a humidifier. I just turn it on for the noise. And that kind of blocked out all the little natural creaks that your house or apartment would make anyway. So I wasn't reading into them as much. Another thing I did, when I heard one of those noises when I was sleeping, I'd wake up and I'd look around like, oh my gosh, who was in my room? Obviously no one was there. So may sound crazy, I got a nightlight and I slept with a sleep mask. So when I heard a noise, I could just lift up my mask and look around and just make sure no one was there. And that might all sound nuts, but when you're living alone, it can be kind of scary when you're used to having someone there. I don't do that anymore. I don't sleep with a nightlight anymore. I do still sleep with the sleep mask, which I highly recommend. But that really, really helped me feel more safe at night. Being alone, and I also consider getting an alarm now. I live in a townhome complex, so I have neighbors all around me. But if you are afraid and you live alone or alone with your kids, and that'll just give you some peace of mind, get a ring, just do it. Again, the peace of mind is so worth it. Another thing I did, because I found it was very quiet not having anyone around, and I wasn't used to that. So I learned to turn on the TV and just have reruns of my favorite shows playing. So my go-tos were Sex and the City, Grey's Anatomy, some other people like The Office or Friends. Shows where you feel connected to the characters. Studies have shown that if you are watching a show where you feel connected to the characters, it actually reduces feelings of loneliness. So that's another tip and trick I have. My second one is, if you're not moving from your home or apartment, rearrange the furniture if you can in a different way. That will give the space just some rejuvenation and make it different and kind of have a new air about it that's kind of separate from your partner. If you can redecorate, if you want to, whatever, to make it feel like it's yours and not yours and theirs and what it was. Number 3, adjust your mindset. So remember, loneliness is a temporary feeling. It's not a permanent state. We aren't lonely. We're feeling lonely in the moment, and that's okay, and that's normal. So if you can find ways to deal with loneliness and feel less lonely, and just remind yourself that this is a temporary feeling, it's gonna pass, it's gonna go away, you will be able to deal with those lonely feelings better, knowing that it's just temporary and it's okay to feel lonely or upset in the moment. It will pass. Number 4, call and hang out with your friends and family. We as humans are tribal creatures. We are not meant to do this life alone. We are biologically wired to be around other people and be in a tribe. So when you are feeling lonely, notice feeling, not when you are lonely, because it's a feeling. Do not hesitate to call a friend or a family member. There's no shame in it. There's nothing wrong with it. It'll keep you distracted, and if you can get together with someone, that's even better. But again, it really does help to have some numbers on standby of people you can call and just know that they're there, and you don't have to sit in your house alone with these emotions and feelings if you don't want to, right? You have your people to help you through it, and that's what they're there for, and you would do the same for them, right? And my last tip is having new outlets or hobbies, or reconnecting with old ones. So when I was going through a breakup, I reconnected with running, and I'm still a runner to this day because of it. I do long distance running now, which was something new for me at the time. I decided to commit to running a half marathon when I had only max run 3 miles ever. That was the longest I'd ever run, but I really used running as an outlet to deal with loneliness, to get outside, and I had run on and off since I was 18, so it was kind of a way to reconnect with me, and it was amazing and still is. And it's truly been a vehicle between mind, body, spirit. So again, whether that's exploring something new or reconnecting with something you used to do, this is a time to just bring it back to you. And when you connect to you, you do feel less lonely. You are your best company. So those are my 5 tips and tricks. Hope they're helpful. And just remember, loneliness is a temporary feeling, not a permanent state of mind.